So, to the subject of today's ding-dong, should you dress to please your man? Journalist Natasha Devon believes that if we dress for our man, we're not representing ourselves, but the man we are with. But presenter Zoe Hardman thinks that if the opposite sex finds you attractive, then you feel good. Well, I feel a ding-dong coming on. So, without further ado, let battle commence.
Well, I'm afraid I'm going to have to use the F word. Feminism. Oh, no. I think this is an issue of equality because our sense of style, our personal style, is such an important part of who we are and our identity. And if we hand that over to the man in our lives, then how is that the basis for a healthy relationship?
Feminism has nothing to do with looking good for our man. If we're a single girl and we walk into a bar and we're looking the best we can, maybe a bit of leather trouser, a red lip, and someone finds us attractive...
Ooh, steady.
Yeah, I know. Alan finds us attractive.
Fine.
You feel empowered because you can choose from every single man in that room, and then you can wow them with your brain once they've come over to you. I don't think there's absolutely anything.
Well, you've actually got it absolutely the right way round, because if you are walking into a bar with your leather trouser and your red lip, you're doing it because that's your sense of style, and then you attract the man who also thinks that that's attractive. We don't want to be a watered-down version, do we, ladies, of our man's fantasy? We want our men to worship us for our fabulous selves, surely.
No, but we're all fabulous, but it doesn't mean, you know, putting on a sexy pair of lingerie or, you know, a bit of a bounce in our hair because our husband or partner or boyfriend fancies us. I think that's absolutely fine. And I will challenge any woman in here, if they're in a marriage and they walk down the stairs and their husband doesn't say, wow, you look fantastic, I would say every woman in here would think, oh, I wish I'd made more of an effort.
Let me to Kelly come in on this. I mean, where do you stand?
Well, I'm sort of in between, because I agree that you should dress to make yourself feel confident. That's number one. I'm not saying that I wouldn't make an effort and wear sexy lingerie for my partner on occasions, but generally, every single day of my life, I dress for the way I feel comfortable, and if my man loves me enough, he's going to love me for the way that I feel comfortable.
Of course, you want your man to love you for who you are, but you also want him to have the wow factor, because...
If you come from that perspective, ultimately, if we all dress for our men, we'd all be wearing lingerie and PVC boots 7 days a week, and that's just not practical.
That's the misconception. That is the misconception, that all men want us to have a low cut and a short skirt. That's the misconception. Men want us to look the best that we can. You have got phenomenal legs. You're wearing a short skirt.
Thank you, Zoe.
But why?
Because
you know men are going to look at you.
No, I have no interest whether the men in here look at... I'd be much more complimented if one of the women in the audience today told me she thought I looked fabulous.
But that's exactly the
Much
same.
more.
Can I just bring the doctor in on this? Dr. Anita, where do you stand with this?
I'm all for the wow factor.
Thank you.
You want to look attractive to men?
I think so, yeah.
Lucy?
Oh... I can't say I dress to make myself more attractive on a daily basis, but I'm not averse to...
The two are not mutually exclusive, are they?
I don't think the two are mutually exclusive, but I think it's the order that you do it in. I think we dress for ourselves first and foremost, and then we attract the right man into our lives who is attracted to our sense of style.
Look, this is exactly the same as cooking a meal. Presentation is the key. You and everything else taste better when it looks good. Yes. That's what we're talking about.
That's a nice line.
It is, but I'm not saying
you can't tell me you're going out thinking, I really want to look like a heap of rubbish today. I'm just going to go out looking absolute grot.
I'm not trying to argue that we should all just wear a sack and go blur until we die. What I'm saying is that there's only one person's opinion that really matters about how you look, and that is yourself.
But surely, it's a lovely moment when somebody fancies you and says, "God, blimey, you look a bit all right."
Thank you very much.
You really do!
Oh, that's made my day. She was looking right at me. I don't care she didn't mean it.
But you do not need a piece of paper to somehow give some kind of legislation to that commitment.
But isn't being married to somebody more than a piece of paper? And you don't mind people opening up a newspaper and seeing you topless, it's not?
No, I don't. I'm so proud of my body that I'm willing to show it off to people.